Good morning, everybody. I just realized I did not make any coffee today. I don't know if my wife made coffee either. So, I am coffeeless this morning. So, but I've been up a little early because I had to take my son to work. He's reffing soccer games. So, and it's a little rainy outside. Everybody's a little drowsy today. Nobody really wants to get up and do anything, and I haven't had any coffee, so I don't know how well this is gonna go today. We'll just have to see. Um, we'll just have to see if I can stay awake. Um, anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope this is at least interesting as we kind of go through some failures that I had as I've been working on some of these other projects along the way. I know I was not here last week, and I apologize for that. Unfortunately, life is just really busy right now. I've got four kids, and one of them just graduated last year. Another one's a junior, and uh, sports and all those things. And it's just not as simple as I would wish that it would be, unfortunately. So sometimes that stuff gets in the way, and sometimes I don't keep track of what's going on. So um, there's that. So, hey, Ming, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. If you are watching live, jump into the chat, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from if I haven't talked to you before, or if it's been a long time, which it could be because of me or because of you, depending, since there's been a lot of variations along the way. Um, if you're wondering about whether or not I want to be doing this. I absolutely do want to be doing this. In fact, um, I was brainstorming actually yesterday at work, not at work, but I mean during the day, um, kind of the future, right? My future and some things that I would like to see, um, not just for the channel, but just for myself and for the development world as a whole. Um, some ways to get mentoring into a more of a forefront mindset for people. So obviously, the Dev Mentor Dave YouTube channel is a way of doing mentoring, and not the best way, honestly. But I have ideas and aspirations that are outside of and sort of connected to the Dev Mentor Dave YouTube channel. So it's been a little bit of interesting thoughts and conversations, even with AI, to kind of talk through, hash through some of my ideas and things like that. So that's been kind of fun playing around with that a little bit too. I also have been playing around with ChatGPT and integrating that inside an application at work. So that's been an interesting process, putting that into a Laravel application, which is what we're using. So that's been an interesting experience. Finally, getting back into a little bit of coding on the job, even though most of my most of my work is management, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Alrighty. Ming says, "Do you have something planned for Easter?" Um, I mean, actually, we have a family get together afterwards, but Easter's a little later this year than it usually is, and so it kind of ran into some birthdays and things like that, and in some of our extended family. So we're getting together not necessarily for Easter, but we're getting together on Easter. After our church services, obviously, I think most of you know that I'm also a pastor, so I'll be busy on Easter. And we had our Good Friday service last night, which was really good too. So yeah, I'll be obviously at church on Easter morning. We don't do a sunrise service though, thankfully. I don't think I could handle being up quite that early in the morning on a Sunday. But we'll have our normal Easter service tomorrow, and then I think we're getting together with some extended family for some birthday parties and things like that. So, not necessarily a big Easter blowout, but we got some things that we're going to be doing. That's awesome. Yeah. We haven't always done a Good Friday service. We this was, I think, our second or third Good Friday service. Just part of it's because for most of the time that our church has been around, we've been Sorry, jumping into other topics outside of programming. But most of the time that our church has been around, we've been in a public school, renting from a public school, and it's hard to get um, other days sometimes available. So we just never really uh, pursued that for the first many years. But we've had our own building for the last four 3 years, last 3 years, and so we've done. I think we've done a Good Friday service each of those. Excuse me, each of those years. So this is our second or third Good Friday service. I think I preached the last Good Friday service, and I preached 2 Easters ago. So so yeah, it's fun. I Good Friday is always kind of a weird service because you're celebrating uh death sort of. So but I think it was good. It was good. We had a good one last night. So I forget, Ming, you're in UK, is that right? You're in the UK? Yeah, it is kind of interesting that I wouldn't. Yeah, that's what I thought. The UK, I mean the dev community. There's a couple. So there's a few weird like stereotypes of the dev community, and obviously I think it's going to change. It changes over time, but in my experience, I've dealt with a lot of devs do have some sort of religious affiliation. Um, I I have found that most devs have some sort of musical background. Either they learned an instrument or currently still play an instrument, um, and oddly enough, a large number of the developers that I've worked with actually homeschool as well. I don't know if that's just because of the flexibility that we have as developers and the type of job that we do, or what. But even when I was working in having to go in the office every day for different jobs. That was those things still remain fairly true. Not so much necessarily the religious part that's just kind of ebbs and flows a little bit more. But oddly enough, homeschooling and musical background seem to be a couple of things that really are prevalent in the dev community. I think obviously there's probably some reasons for that. So martial arts. um, I've had a few people that I know were into martial arts. That's funny though. Yeah, you're just a unique dev, man. You're just unique. Yeah, so that's probably. I don't know if you guys really paid much attention as we started working on that mobile app. Obviously is more faith based organization. So, kind of tip my hand there a little bit too. I don't feel like I've been extremely silent necessarily about my religious affiliation and role as a pastor, but sometimes people don't necessarily catch on. So, really bouldering, that's interesting. I can't think of anybody that I know of, or that I know personally that's done that or does that on a regular basis. Um, or unless they just don't talk about it. I don't know. Is that a rule? Don't the first rule of bouldering is don't talk about bouldering. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see. I would love to someday get a bigger group of people. Actually, I think didn't I do a? I feel like I did a poll maybe a year ago. It feels like years ago. Um, let's see. I feel like I did a poll around the music one just to see if anybody else noticed that. Excuse me. Is there a way to filter by type? Poll. Yes, there is. Sorry, I'm trying to look through my old posts. Do, 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 do. Yes, I did have a poll. Maybe I should republish this poll. But I was surprised how few. I mean, it was still the majority. There's still the majority. So here, let me share my screen. Um, I can show that way. Here we go. So the major it was still the majority that had some musical background, but um, only 56%, which was a little surprising. I thought it would be higher than that. Um, so I don't know. That's interesting, but 44% are just like, yeah, I can play music on my iPhone or whatever, right? So that's kind of funny. But there were only let's see, there were some comments here. Can I get to the comments? Do 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 do. I don't see a way. Maybe I have to go here to see the comments. Probably. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, we got one person's actual Spotify artist. That's funny. But yeah, 6% actually do it semi-professionally. I can since I play in our church's music team, I probably would have to say it's professional, even though I wouldn't call myself a professional by any stretch of the imagination. Uh, that's funny. Okay, well, let's see. Let me get rid of this and get rid of this. Um, go back over here real fast. Here we go. Let's see. I've started learning SQL now. Queries are so annoying. Welcome to the back end, Ming. So, what were you learning before? Did you have any database experience before? Was it just like was that Mongo non relational databases? Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Which this is gonna sound snobby probably, but I don't really know of any applications that are out there that I know of that are built with Mongo that are like super professional applications. There probably are some, and I just don't know anything about that, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that Mongo is necessarily bad or anything, but um, SQL, MySQL, Postgres, those things have been around for a long time, and relational databases have been around forever. So, I would definitely learn relational databases, and I think one of the things is we started talking through the Deep Pockets project, thinking about how objects or ideas or entities relate to one another is excuse me, is huge. Um, that's where you get the concept of an ERD. ERD stands for entity relationship diagram. I think it's entity relationship. Let's ask ChatGPT. What does ERD stand for? Yeah, entity relationship diagram. So what was I saying? Oh, just when you think about writing a program, most of the time you're writing a program that interacts with specific entities. And those often interact with each other and are related to each other. So, dealing with a relational database and understanding the structure of how that works and understanding um, how to use it, how to query it, um, that's really huge. And that's something that if I were developing a program for teaching people how to write code, it would probably start with PHP and MySQL, and not with HTML and JavaScript and CSS. And the reason for that is that allows you to really get a better grasp of what programming is. Not that doing front end is not programming. Okay, I'm not saying that, but it's different. So the programming that you do on the front end is more design related. than it is like actual programming, like building a system that interacts with data and does something. So what I would probably start with, honestly, would be either PHP or Go or I know a lot of people learn Python. I just hate the Python syntax with a passion. So and most of it's because it's tab delineated. I hate that, but so I would start with something like Go, which is more of a compiled language, or PHP, mostly because I know it. Um, I would teach people PHP and programming and help them understand data, because that's what programming was years ago. If you want to become a programmer, you were going to be dealing with data. And in my opinion, just based on the little bit of research that I've done, those back end jobs, those data driven jobs, are the ones that are the best paying typically, because they're not flashy. They're not flashy, and people can't necessarily see all the cool things that you're actually doing, all the work that you actually put into it. So I definitely, Ming, get out of here. No more. No more of this Python junk. Um, no, it's okay. I mean, I've written a few things in Python. It's fine, but yeah. So yeah, Ming says that a lot of companies use relational databases. Yes, uh, there's lots of reasons for that. It's easier to control your organization of the data. Um, it's easier to visualize a lot of time your relationships. When you're dealing with something like Mongo, that's a document based system, it can be a little bit harder to visualize and understand just looking at the database how things are connected. I know that there are standards and processes to be able to help with that. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying when you understand a relational database, the relationships are just kind of built into the way that it's built. So it's just easier to kind of see those things without diagrams and stuff like that. You can find the relationships faster, in my opinion. Um, and that's largely because that's what I've spent most of my life working on is relational databases. I did have one professional project that I worked on that used Mongo, and it was okay, but there were just some frustrations and limitations around relationship management that needed to be there. That just wasn't very helpful, at least at the time. That was several years ago, so I'm sure there have been some good progress since then, but yeah, not a huge fan of Mongo. I would say you're on the right track learning relational databases, Ming. So man, I'm gonna burn through all my water here. Okay, so today I wanted to go back and take a look at the mobile app that we were working on before. No, it's not done, and the reason why it's not done is that I made some errors along the way in the process. So we're gonna try to sort of rebuild it fairly quickly. We probably won't get through all of it today on the live stream, but I'm gonna try to rebuild it and do it based off of the right way to do things. Now, as you know, if you were watching this before, you we went through and tried to follow the documentation, the things that seemed to make sense as we were building out the application. Um, but when I went to add in the packages for handling notifications, and actually went to build a build that would support uh, putting it on my phone to be able to test on my phone, because you can't test the notifications on the simulator, at least from what I read. The build started failing, and and it kept giving me a lot of weird notifications about pods and things like that. And basically, long story short, what happened was is I originally had started trying to build an Expo managed app. And if you don't remember what Expo is that framework that sits even on top of React Native. It's the recommended framework, but it it has lots of options. And apparently, I missed an option or picked the wrong option or just went down the wrong path at some point. And Expo, if you're going to do an Expo managed application, it's very particular about what packages it will allow. And so went through lots of literally hours of arguing with with ChatGPT about what I had in my system and why it wasn't working, and following lots of instructions to try to fix it, and it did not go well. So at the end of the day, basically, what I realized is I need to build correctly an Expo managed application, and that'll do two things for us. One is it'll make it to where we shouldn't need a build right away to do the testing on the simulator through the Expo managed kind of application, but it also will make sure that all the packages that we use are packages that can be built into the actual iOS and Android packages, right? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to actually jump over to Claude. So Claude AI is another option other than ChatGPT, and I hopefully you guys have seen that. I don't remember if we talked about it before when we looked at other AI solutions, but Claude is an LLM that is at this point much better when it comes to helping generate code and dealing with things like that. So we're going to jump over to Claude, and we're going to ask it to walk us through the steps of generating the app that we were trying to build, basically put in some of the features that we need. The two big features that were issues when I was trying to build it were the maps package that we were using and the notifications setup. Now, Expo has its own notifications system that we can use, and even has like a testing page that we'll be able to use. I don't know if we'll get there today, but my goal is to hopefully go through a full process of building an application that is an Expo managed application, so that when we go to build the iOS version, which I'll build first, when we go to build that, it actually builds correctly, doesn't give us all the errors. So let me just kind of show you real fast. Oh, wrong one. Desktop transition. All right. So this was my question from earlier. I don't have any unit tests built in, Ming. That's something that I typically should do, but I have not. And I probably won't, honestly, for this project, just because it's a hopefully a quicker project once we get this done. But also it's a project for a 501c3. It's a non-paid. It's hard to put in some of those extra efforts when there's not like a monetary reason to do so. Man, there's nothing like a good glass of cold water, I tell you what. Okay, so let me show you what was happening here. So it was having problems with Xcode building. Where's the issue? Oh, I think this one actually got further. Yeah, resolving Swift package manager dependencies. Blah, 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 blah. Building the pods. Compiling React Native. Oh, here we go. All right, so basically what was happening is it was trying to build things that were not in sync with what Apple wanted, right? With the way that Apple needed things to work, and that's because there was some packages that were React specific packages or React Native packages, and they didn't work with the way that Expo was set up. Anyway, lots of issues dealing with that. So we're going to try to just go through and build a new application Ming says I don't like tests either. That's awesome. All right. By the way, I see we have a couple people watching. If you're watching live, jump in the chat. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to mock me, whatever floats your boat on this Saturday morning. So, all right, here's what we're going to ask our AI. So, I want it to help me build a managed Expo application, and I want to make sure that it gives me the right packages for specifically for maps and for notifications. So those are the two things that were kind of the big errors, the big bugs when I was trying to build this before. So let me put a prompt in here. And the reason why I'm using um, Claude, by the way, is we are in the world of AI, and I want to show you guys at least the way that I think we should interact with AI when we're developing, and we can't be afraid of it. Now, I still firmly believe that that junior devs should learn to code without AI. To up to a certain point, but then you need to know how to use the tools and how to use them the right way. Now, if you were here a couple weeks ago, we did some vibe coding, and hopefully you saw how bad vibe coding was, and how when you really are trying to build something real, it's going to have problems, especially if you try to do it with any like a starter kit like we did, that didn't work out very well. But there are ways to do it. I have done it. So I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm just saying, it wasn't very good. Just trying to let it go on its own. So, all right, let's get instruction. I don't necessarily want it to give me code. I just want it to give me more steps. So I'm going to need to try to make that pretty clear. Let's do, give me all the steps necessary to build an Expo React. Let's do managed Expo React native application that includes the proper. Is that wrong? Proper? I don't know. The correct. I'm not a good speller. The correct packages for maps and notifications. Let's see what it comes up with here. I use AI very, very frequently. Okay. Yeah, I mean, learning isn't necessarily bad. Excuse me. You see, it's giving me a bunch of junk I don't necessarily want, but we'll see. Um, yeah, I don't need this. So we are going to try to copy as much as we can over from the other app too. But I want to get it set up and running first before I try copying stuff over. So, I already have the CLI, I believe. Let's see. Expo init your app name. Okay. Expo init. What should we call this? LWC F. What? Expo is not found. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I guess we'll do that. MPX. Do I really want to do it that way? I guess we can. Okay. MPX install. I don't know if I want to do it globally though. That's what that flag G is for. Let's just do Expo CLI here. Ba-ba-da-ba. Could not determine executable to run. Complete log, blah, blah, blah. What in the world? Let's see. Oh, let's just try it. Expo CLI. Hmm. Did I type the wrong thing? Oh, it is npm. Ah, that might be part of it. npm install Expo CLI. It's thinking. Oh, it's thinking longer. That's a good thing. Maybe I should do it globally though. And this thing's taking forever. I did not do this before. I think I did MPX Expo or something like that. Whoa! Alrighty. Maybe I should have done. Maybe I should have done this before I got on. Oh well. All right. So, let's go to Expo init. Let's just do Expo. Good grief! Cannot type today. Cannot command not found. That's what I figured. Okay. npm install -g Expo CLI. I don't necessarily like doing things globally, but all right, now it recognizes Expo. There we go. Okay, so we want Expo init your app name, Expo init LWCF. Of course. Thank you, Claude. Choose a template. Use local CLI instead. Recommended SEM. Bundle within in your project Expo package. Okay. We'll go with a blank TypeScript configuration. We'll see. Okay. We're installing stuff. Of course, now I'm in the way. I won't be in the way later when I'm messing with the code base. Okay. CD LWCF. All right. There we go. So let's look at LWCF. Let me open the folder. All right, so there is our folder. Let's see if we make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Okay. So we've got that done. Let's see what's next. Went in there. Expo install React Native Maps. Can I just copy this? Let's try that. Boom. Migrate to the new local Expo CLI. How do I do that? How do I upgrade the Expo CLI? Update, upgrade? I don't know. Like it does not support. I know you keep telling me that 6.3.12. All right, so let's try that. Let's see if it gives us a different one. What did we have before? 6.3.12. Oh, that's not good. We went backwards. 6.3.10 and we had 6.3.12 before. That's not good. What is this? What is this thing? Let's see what this is. Don't you just love watching me completely explode? All right. npm IG Expo CLI usage. I'm confused. How many? Just tell me how to get this. Building improvements. This is not helpful. NPX Expo. That's what we should have done. NPX Expo. Install. Sells correct versions on installed packages. NPX. NPX. So the old way that we did it was correct. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back here. We're going to get out of that. We're going to rm-rf lwcf. And let's see. Let's go to Expo Docs. Nope, not what I want. Expo. Introduction. Create a project. All right. NPX create Expo. Is that what I want? Yes. I think that's what I want. Let's do that. This should give us the right one. Sure. LWCF. Is Claude like ChatGPT? Yes. They are both large language models. Claude theoretically is better. It's better at writing code than ChatGPT is. It tends to write code for you that is more actionable. ChatGPT tends to, at least has tended to, be more conceptual than it was executable. Claude's code has been better generally. Okay. Now let's go back. We should be able to. There we go. So now we have a project. Okay, let's go back to Claude and see what it says theoretically. So we're not going to use Expo install because that's old. But we do want to do NPX. Is it NPX Expo install? What was it? What was this saying? NPX or just where is it? NPX Expo install. Okay. So by running this command npx expo install instead of npm install, it will install packages that work with the managed flow. So one thing I want to check here. Let me look at my package.json. I don't see Expo develop, which is good because we just want a regular managed app. Okay. So let's go back to Claude. What do we want? React Native Maps. So we're going to do Expo, npx, Expo install, React Native Maps. So it's almost there. Just not quite. Okay. npx, Expo install, React Native Maps. So this should actually give us the maps that work with the Expo managed build. All right, and then the other one I want is Expo notifications. Oh my goodness, all the things. Actually, I can copy this since everything is correct except for the npx. npx, boom. See, it says installing SDK52 compatible native modules using npm. So it's pulling in the right ones, hopefully. All right. Set up permissions in the app JSON. Permissions for what? Core location, receive book. Okay, so Google Maps API key, iOS. Okay, so we need to add some of these things to our. Let's see what we're missing. So app.json. Not a whole lot in the old iOS and Android sections. So let's pull the iOS ones in first. Support tablet. Looks like that was not in here at all. Okay, I'm gonna make a new window and open the old code base. If I can figure out which one it is. I think it's that one. Yeah, this should have all of our stuff. Okay. And I know in here somewhere I have Google Maps API key, which I will have to shut down at some point once this video goes live. Well, a guy kind of is live. There we go. All right. Well, it is what it is. Don't spam it. Let's see. I'm gonna put that in here. So that's the Google Maps. All right, let's look at Android. Android's got adaptive icon. That's the only thing that's in here. This is the old one. Hang on. Let me move this over here. There we go. Okay. So for the Android, oh, we'll need to do the plugins too. Okay. Just make sure you get everything, David. Okay. Let's see. For Android, we got these. I think those should all be at the same level. Access, Google Maps key. Hopefully that's the right one. I think it is because we had it running locally. Anyway. Okay, so that is good. And then we need to make sure we have our plugins. I think I want this whole thing. Nope, nope, go away. There we go. So plugins. Do we have any plugins? We do. So we'll add that after the Expo router. Save. I think we got everything. Okay. Create a basic Mac component. So this is where I might want to hold off on this. We'll do the notification stuff later. Update app.js, include those, blah, blah, blah. Start the development server. So I think I need to do npx expo start, if I remember correctly, because everything is in npx now. npx expo start. Okay, so I should be able to, with the managed version, I should be able to do this without having to do that big long build, if you remember. Yes. All right. So theoretically, this will all build correctly. Yay! Okay. So now let's move over our code. Because I'm going to. Okay, so here's the deal. Wait a minute. What is this? Oh, this is the old one. Why am I here? Oh, because hang on. All right, here we go. App assets component constants. Is that how this one was set up? App assets node modules. I think I got rid of the components. Components and constants. Right there. Hooks and scripts. What did I do? I do not know. Okay. So I moved everything into a different folder. So we'll do this through this, and well, through this. Um, oops, that's not what I want. Sorry. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. So I want this, and this, and this, and this. Doggo in this. Move. Okay. Then I'm going to copy this guy and put it over here. Paste. And then what's in here? Just this logo. Copy. Put that in here. Paste. You can tell I'm old because I'm right clicking and copying pasting. Okay. So we've got an error. Oh. Hey. Hey. Look at that. That is awesome. Okay. I'm a little excited. I've not even gotten to this point yet. Okay, so we copied in all of our other stuff. Now, I don't think the maps are going to work because we were using the wrong things for maps. But this is really cool that it's already given me this. Ooh. Info. Contact. The map is still working. Why is the map working? Is it because I was using... Maybe I was already using the right code, but just not the right version of the React Native map? That's really interesting. So I'm using React Native maps, map view and marker. Let's see what the Claude told me to use. Map view and marker. Is that what I have? Map view marker from React Native Maps. Ooh, I was already using the right things, just the wrong version of the package. So it works. Wow, that's awesome. um, okay, I kind of don't know what to do with myself at the moment. Um, I did not think this was going to work that smoothly. Yeah, I can't do that piece of it. Some of the stuff I'll have to test on. Oh, this is not working. Explore. This app includes example code to help you get started. What? That's not... That should not be a thing. Why is explore there? Where did that come from? I don't know where that came from. That's weird. Okay, so let me increase the size of this stuff so you can see it. Okay, so in our code base. Oh, this is the wrong one. Doggone it. Come back. Okay. If I could type someday, that would be nice. So it doesn't find it there either. Okay, so here's our app and our tabs, layout. Tab bar icon. There should only be 4 icons. I don't know where it's getting. Maybe just we need to restart this guy. What was the command for restart? Command D? Reload? Why is it giving us this extra... That's annoying. Where's that coming from? Let's do this. Let's delete this. I don't know where would that extra tab be coming from? That's really weird. Explore. This app includes example code. Help you get. Oh, I bet this is This is probably built into this Expo managed app, maybe? That doesn't make any sense. Uh what is this layout? Register for push notifications. This is all stuff I had put in before. Types, that's nice. Where is it getting that? Where is it getting that? It's got to be getting it from that app. Because there's nothing in here about. What was that called? Explore. Yeah, see, this is like links out to the Expo documentation. It's got to be what that is. Okay. Well, I think everything else is set up and working. So, something that I did is all of the all of the links are not necessarily going to pages, so there's gonna have to be some cleanup there. Um, they prefer actually the links to go out to the website. Oh, this is interesting. Why is it not loading? Did we kill our application? How did that happen? Ba-doop boo. Oh, hello. Okay, go back up. Well, Command D doesn't work anymore. Oh, there we go. Reload. I'm not sure what's happening here. That's for gesturing. Let's do this. Let's do route utils types is missing. The required default export. Ensure React component is exporters. Not fully supported. Yeah. We'll take that out. Okay, so we've got some errors in here. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's do this. Let me see. So in our layout.tsx file, got a bunch of stuff here that we don't need right now. We'll set that up later. Nope, don't need that. Don't need any of that. Let's just clean some of the stuff up so we're only using what we're actually using. Let's see if this resets. And sometimes you just have to restart things too, by the way. This is just non-responsive. That's old. This is the old one, so we don't want that. So let's try this. Oh, we need to hit I. There we go. Opening iOS. Downloading. Opening. Come on. Come on. It does not like utils types. Where's that complaining? Do 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 do. Huh. It doesn't seem to know where it's complaining from. Nope, don't do that. I hate it when it just randomly does things. This is not good though. Why is that not? Could not parse Expo config. Google Services JSON cannot parse Expo iOS goes. Oh, let's do this. So we'll get rid of those errors. And we'll do that. So let's just remove the Android settings for now. Can I do that? I can't do that. So remove those Android settings, and then iOS. I need to copy that file over. Info.playlist. Okay. Copy. Paste. Google service dash info. Is that what it's looking for? Google service dash info plist. Yep. Okay. So that should be up to date. Let's try this again. Opening. It's not wanting to open. Let's do this. We'll do device restart. See if that makes a difference. All right. So, while this is restarting, I don't know if anybody here, probably not likely, um, but if anybody here happens to be a Laravel developer and happens to plan on being at Laracon US in end of July, I should probably be there. Our company has several developers that'll be going there, and I at the moment I'm planning on being there as well. So I don't know if anybody's watching this and they made it this far and they're Laravel dev and will be there, but there you go. I'll put a post up about it probably as we get closer. But man, this thing's taking forever to reload. Maybe. Oh, as soon as I say that, there you go. Let's see. All right. So let's try this again. npx expo start. I Uh-oh. Non-zero code 60. Device failed. Operation timed out. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, let's do this. Let's kill the simulator. Simulator's really weird because yeah, I almost always have to force quit it, which is really annoying. Thank you, Apple. Okay. Let's try opening it again. I do like the full screen view. I think that's nice. We'll let it launch here. Pull it back over here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what the notification is. It wasn't really complaining about a whole lot. It just, when we went over to And I don't know if this is a problem with like the Expo app versus like an actual build. But when we went over to the website and then came back, it did not want to work all of a sudden. So that's concerning and annoying and frustrating. But this is development. That's not good. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's like it reads my mind. As soon as I'm at the point of giving up, it starts doing something again. do 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 do. But it was interesting when it opened the app. It gave me the information about the notifications. Yeah, exactly. You guys got to keep going. So that's something that had not happened before. So that tells me that we're on the right track with the right packages. I just need to make sure everything works. Excuse me. And then I've got to build the notification process. Which we'll probably not do today, but I just want to make sure everything gets up and running and is going like working the way that it's supposed to be working. But this thing is taking forever to load. Yeah, it's got a lot. It's a pretty big environment or not industry. What's the word I'm thinking of? Community, I guess maybe community. Um, it's kind of been the standard. No, you don't need to compile with Expo, but it's kind of the recommended route now. I don't think React Native itself is supported anymore. Um, so that's part of the problem. Let's try this again. Let's see if we get an error here. Huh. Domain. Well, that's what our good friend over here is for. Couldn't connect the server. Yeah, sure, we could do npx expo start clear. Let's try that. It jumps over there automatically because it thinks it should work. Close and reopen. I did that. Try connecting via localhost instead. I guess we could see if it's in use. Oh, it doesn't list anything that's using it. Interesting. It was just working. We could set our own port. I guess we could do that. Simulator device menu, erase all content and settings. Maybe we'll do that. Device. Hang on. Let's stop that. Alright, it was device menu, erase all content and settings. I did not see that. No, there it is. Yes. Erase it. Get rid of it. Let's see if it works. Yeah, honestly, I'm not a fan of mobile development. This will probably be the last one that I do. Especially the last one I'll do for free. This is not, I do not like it, quite frankly. There's a lot of sit around, a lot more sit around and wait than usually there is in web development, at least in my experience. Now there are times, especially if you're running a lot of tests or something like that, it can be crazy. But coffee ordering app for your church. We don't we don't drink enough coffee to order it. Okay, let's try this again. I don't want to do the port. Is there anything weird happening up here? Bundler cast is empty, rebuilding. Something weird just happened. Oh, it's okay. It's installing the app now. Let's see. All right, here comes the app. It's like the app got wiped or something. Nope, doesn't like it. Huh. Ha ha ha. Why did I mess something up in the app JSON file maybe? That's all back the way that it was. Let's copy this and paste. I got an old version of it. Okay, let's get rid of the iOS stuff. See if that works. Because we had it running before we started messing with the iOS settings. Nothing's happening. Yep, same error. Okay, let's see. We'll just throw it at it again. I did all this. Hmm. Using Expo Go on a physical device instead of simulator. I'll have to get another device to try that. Why was it working before? What did we change? Did we mess something up? I don't think we changed that much. We didn't do. All of this was working. Let's open the Expo Go app and see what happens. It can't find anything, I don't think. But that's why it was a blank screen when it came back, because the Expo Go app was not working. I think I'm going to have to try to do this on a regular device, which means I'll need to find something to hook it up so we can view it. That's why you need to know relational databases. Yeah, it's transactions and all that fun stuff. Yep. Are you going to keep track of how much coffee people drink too? Who's ordering what? How often they order it? Who's the? You have like a leaderboard of the most caffeinated church members. Yeah, this is annoying. I don't know if I want to. I don't even know. Expo start localhost. I mean, I guess I could try that. Was it dash dash localhost? Yeah. Yeah, still the same thing. Failed to open. I mean, unless there's something with the server not working right. I wonder. I've never tried any of these other options. I like there's like a web, open web. Aha! Aha! This might be our issue. Let's take a look. Server error. Importing native only module. React Native libraries on web. Oh, that's just a problem because we're doing it on web. So that can't be the issue. Importing native on web from, yeah, that's not the problem because it works fine there. So it's obviously building it. I just don't understand. Open project code in your editor. Already have that. More tools. Toggle menu. No apps connected. Switch to development build. I don't know what that means. That is just not going to work. It does not like that. Well, I guess I'll have to spend some more time figuring this out. We were so close. So close. We had it up and running. It was telling us, hey, you want to use notifications. Is that all right? And we were like, yes. And the map was working and everything was happy. And then it all came crashing down. I don't know if I want to use the development build. Let's see. Well, I guess I don't know if it hurts anything. Let's do S. Switch to development build. Okay, not sure what that did. Just gave me a different menu. I. Okay. iOS bundle identifier. I bet we've got one of those in the old one. We do. Oh, something's happening. Just thinking about it. Oh. Okay. Well, this is developing menu. Just get next. Okay. Blah blah blah. And we don't have that Expo thing. That extra thing here. Okay. I didn't get notification about the Oh, that's because I tore that code out. That's why. Okay. 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 Interesting. It's opening that page. And it's take forever. I wonder if it's because I'm Go back to Expo Go. This is a problem. Why does it do this? Why does it do this? Something's going on here. Huh. Something when it comes back to the app from another place, it does not like that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. That is interesting. Oh, wait. Well, this is using the regular build now. I'm so confused. See, it has this menu, press switch. Oh, you can't see that. Press to switch to development build, which is what I was just using. Because this goes back to the Expo Go build. So now I'm back to the Expo Go, which is interesting. And it's failing. So the Expo Go app is not working well. So let's do this. Restart. And go to development build, go to the iOS. And that is going to require me to actually have a build. Okay. That's interesting. When I didn't have the identifier, it built it. Huh. Come on. That's really interesting. So I switch over to development build and then do iOS. It complains about it and then it goes and builds it. Or at least it did last time. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to use the development build or try using the Expo app on my device and try to figure out why it is dying when I try to go back. That's frustrating. Yeah, you can track people and then sell it to other churches. That's funny. Hmm. Yeah, well, at a bit of a blocking point at the moment, and I don't want to sit here and struggle with this necessarily all day on the live stream. So, um, I will go ahead and close up, I think, for today. So, thanks for hanging out with me, Ming. Let me know if you come across anything that might be helpful in fixing this error. If you ever decide to venture into the world of mobile app development, right now, I would not recommend it, just based on my own experience. But I'm sure it's probably better than I'm experiencing once you actually know what you're doing, which probably is a lot of the problem of not necessarily getting a lot of training in this before jumping in. This is where having a mentor would be helpful. I've asked a few questions of some people at work here and there. that do mobile development, and basically what they've said so far is Expo's good to get started, but eventually you're going to find things that you want to do outside of it, so you'll have to learn harder stuff like actual like native code, which I do not want to do. So we'll figure this out. We'll get it working. I'm going to work on putting it on my phone, see if I can get it to work from there, and I'll update you guys as I get further along. So thanks for hanging out with me today, whether you are watching this live or whether you are watching this later. Hopefully it's been at least an opportunity for you to laugh at my misfortune yet again as we try to get this mobile app working. But hopefully we'll have some better success over this next week. And I can report back on Saturday with positive news. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I will see you all hopefully again next Saturday. I don't think I have anything that will be getting into the way. But you never know. So at least based on the current schedule, I don't think there's anything that should be in the way. But I will see you all next Saturday, and hopefully you have a good weekend, a good Easter. Happy Easter for those of you who are already in that day, well ahead of me. If there is anybody that far, noon to midnight, yeah, probably close. So have a good Easter, and I will see you all next weekend.